Hi, my name is Trevor Tysman from Kbandstraining.com. Today is going to be a day about working out, fitness, staying in shape, whether it's athletic performance or your fitness in general. Maybe you're 30s, 40s, 50-year-old guy or a woman trying to stay in shape. One of the keys to your success is always going to be measuring your progress and working for progress. Now, what does that mean to us? What does that mean? What kind of tests can you do to measure? How can you stay in shape? I tell you, the key to your success is always going to be measuring, because you can let things get away from you. Say a summer goes by and you quit working out for a little while and all of a sudden the scale sneaks up just a bit. Well, if you're not working out, what you're going to find is your body fat is actually increasing even though you're keeping the same weight. You're losing muscle mass, right? Losing muscle mass and increasing the fat on your body. So I always suggest, if you're looking to stay in shape, you got to use your body fat calibers. You've got to use the scale. You've got to use a tape measure, and you can even measure your types of foods. Let's get into each one of these types of things because they really are going to help you with your success. Now, why body fat? I know the scale is super easy to do. You can just hop on there and see what weight you are, but there's a lot of scales out there that'll even tell you your body fat percentage now, and it's very important that you do both. Now, they may not be the most accurate. Don't get me wrong. You want to get a DEXA scan. You want to get different types of skin fold calibers with the right trainer that knows exactly what they're doing. They're going to be able to tell you a very accurate figure as far as they can get it. Now, a lot of these calibers are going to be very inflated, but I will tell you, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients that when they use a body fat caliber, it's still rather consistent. So if you are working to lose some fat or stay in shape and you just want to get zapped and figure out what your body fat percentage is, you can get those handheld style body fat calibers, or you can even get those scales that will tell you your body fat. And over the long run, over 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you're going to see that the trend is what you're looking for. And as long as it's not trending up, then you can put the brakes on it. If it's trending down, you're going in the right direction. Or if you're just looking to maintain, yet again, tracking and measuring is going to help you to succeed. So we've got the body fat, and the scale is probably number one, but I would say that you really should also be tracking how strong you are. No matter what you're trying to accomplish, if you're not progressing, you're slowly declining. And you may think that you're really good at maintaining where you're at, but I tell you, it's a slippery slope. If you're not working to progress, you're slowly going to be okay with a minute decline. Multiply that for year after year, and you're going to find that you're lifting less weight than you ever were. Your endurance is way less than it ever was. So it's very important that you're measuring every element to this just to know how your fitness level is maintaining. I always recommend, is there different types of exercises that you can do? Let me be specific. When you're younger, oftentimes the mile is a big test they utilize in sports. But as we get older, I tell you, I'm no different. I don't want to run a timed mile. It's terrible. Hurts my lungs. It makes me feel awful when I'm done. But what can I do? What is more suffice to what I'm looking for? Knees kind of hurt from a lot of athletic training. Back gets a little tender after I do way too much running on pavement. So I like to use the elliptical or a bike. So the way that I'm going to be testing this is I'm going to choose whatever it is that I'd like to use. Let's say this round of 6 months, I'm going to make sure that I increase my endurance by testing on the elliptical. I'm going to go for 20 minutes, and I'm going to see what distance I can get in 20 minutes. I've got my low impact. I've got everything that I need to stay in the groove where I'm at in my working out, right? I'm not trying to do anything out of the ordinary. I'm not doing stair runs and blowing up my knees. I'm doing some everyday type of cardio, but I'm going to make sure that my endurance is improving. So for the next 6 months, I would set up a test out for my elliptical. Once every 3 weeks, I'm going to say, I've got 20 minutes. Am I faster than I was last time? And if you do this, it's going to challenge your cardio workouts to always be improving. You're going to be pushing yourself because you know in the back of your mind, you want to beat that time in 3 weeks. Maybe you're a little bit slower. You want to rock every 4 weeks. That's fine too. You just want to set up something to where you're consistently testing out. I would say every 4 to 6 months, I would change your test outs to keep things fresh and give yourself a new angle of training. So I might run a 4-month cycle with the elliptical, testing my endurance. Then I may move to an exercise bike, testing my endurance. Then for the next 4 months in the winter months, I might even get in the pool and try to test my endurance in the pool. It's very important that you mix up your cardio training because it is essential to working out. You got to have a good heart. You got to keep that thing beating and working well. So I would always suggest you do the types of test outs in the cardio world just to make sure your heart health is working and you're not slowly declining. Because what's really going to happen? If you don't do any test outs in cardio, slowly but surely you accept the new normal because you get out of the shape. It's really easy to get out of shape. And when you get out of shape, you're going to find that those times are terrible because you don't even want to get involved in it. So what I mean by that, if you don't do any cardio for 6 months and you get on a cardio machine or you go out for a run, you are literally going to feel like you're going to die. Your heart feels like it's jumping out of your chest. Your wind is completely gone. You're completely gassed. And you are nowhere near where you used to be that you just don't even attempt anymore. So holding that goal is going to help you achieve some level of expected fitness that you have for yourself. Now, this one is going to be important. We just talked about cardio testing, but I will say that your weight training or strength training test outs is probably almost just as important, if not more important. Anyone that I've ever worked with, when I start working with them, they have no idea what they're capable of. And me included, I went through years where I didn't test out. I wasn't doing things to see if I was getting stronger. And I was just more or less, it turns out to be going through the motions. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most jacked or crazy fit individual, but I tell you, I can do about anything that I ever want to do because I'm still in great shape. And I challenge you to do the same. If there's things that you can't do, the key is to get in shape. So whatever your level of athleticism is or your level of getting in shape, take it to the next level. The better you are, the more in shape you are, the more you are going to enjoy your life with more energy, more flexibility, better balance. Let's talk about strength test outs. If you're not measuring your strength level, this is probably one of the most things that I see is that your strength declines greatly because you have no idea what you're capable of. And a lot of this comes from working out on your own. Now, if you're doing at-home workouts or you're definitely out of the groups right now, this still has to be a major part of your training because if you're not testing what you're capable of, then you're going to let your body decline. Working at home, of course, is going to be more difficult to do test outs because you aren't going to be able to train with a spotter or anything like that. But most of us, when we get a little bit older and we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, you're not going to be able to train with a spotter most of the time anyway. So you're going to be doing different style test outs. You're not going to be doing a 1 rep max on squats and bench press. Those things are long gone. You're going to be doing working ranges. You're going to track a little bit of your working out, right? You got to write some stuff down sometimes, which is not that much fun, but you know what really does help? You got to have a goal in mind, and then we've got to improve our strength level. But as I said, it's not going to be a 1 rep max. You're going to be more into the 8 rep or 10 rep, depending on what you're capable of or what level you're at. If you're an advanced lifter and you've been working out for a lot of years, I would say anywhere in the 6 to 8 range, you are going to be completely safe doing that on your own. Now, if you're getting down in those 1 to 4 ranges, they can be rather dangerous because you can get stuck really easy, especially in squats or barbell bench. You don't want to get stuck underneath something. Believe me, been there, done that. I've been working out for a lot of years. It's not much fun to be in that situation. So you're going to be doing higher rep strength level test outs. So for example, say we're doing dumbbell bench press at our house. You're going to be laying on your back. You've got 2 dumbbells. You've got the adjustable dumbbells I've suggested before. You lay on your back. You're going to do a test out. Okay. We're maxing out the weight. We got a 50% effort set. We've got a 70% effort set. And then we're coming up on the test out, right? We're on week 6 of a training cycle, and here we go. We're going to see what we can handle. We're going to shoot for 6 to 8 reps, and we're going to pile on as much weight as we can. And when we fail, when you can't get it up, that's kind of your working range. That's the amount of strength you have at the time. So now what's your goal? You're going to, after you peak, you take a week or 2, kind of back things off a little bit. Maybe you're just working out in sets of 15. Maybe you're working out with a little bit less load so that we can peak again. The key to doing this tracking your progress stuff is to peak, rest, recover, cycle back in. It'll keep your training very interesting. So you're going to utilize this in a variety of different exercises. So you may be peaking with your cardio, right? We got our elliptical test out. Then we've got a general strength one. Say we use dumbbell bench press for this training cycle. Then you may also want to do a pull-up And then you might even get something for your arms. Maybe it's a simple bicep curl. Let's be honest, as we get a little bit older, you're looking for a little bit of those show muscles, and that's just fine. So do a 8-rep bicep curl. Use barbell, use any type of dumbbell you'd like, but keep things consistent and keep testing your strength level. So let's clean this whole concept up a little bit with the strength. In review, if you're working out at home or you're working out at the gym, and you're trying to stay motivated and get results, the best way that you can do this is by testing your strength and your cardio level every 4 to 8 weeks. As you become more advanced, I would suggest 8 weeks. If you're looking for a pat on the back more often, maybe you're a 4 to 6 week person. Maybe you need a little bit more variety, so you want to change the exercises you're doing. Maybe you're a 4 to 6 week person. I personally like 8 weeks. I take about a week or two, scale it back a little bit, and then I'm back into an 8-week training cycle. So my goal for those 8 weeks is going to be to perform those specific tasks better and stronger than I did the previous 8 weeks. So if I'm going to be working my chest and I want a dumbbell bench press, you better believe that I'm going to be doing dumbbell bench press for 8 weeks, trying to get the maximal amount of press strength that I can. As I move back into the next 2 weeks, scaling it back, higher rep ranges, I may introduce another chest exercise that I'm going to test for the following 8 weeks. Maybe it's a barbell bench press that I want to get on the chest, because what is more important to me? Chest, shoulders, bis, tris. That's kind of what we're going for. Nice, flat, good core, very athletic body. But those are the test outs that I'm going to do. As you get a little bit older, you're going to have to do things that you enjoy, or you're just not going to work out. So that has got to be the key to it. 8 weeks on, I'm going to be doing my test outs. I'm going to be gearing my training towards the specific things that I want to get better at. And then after the 2 weeks down, I'm going to change up the exercises that I'm training for, and I try to keep my body nice and healthy that way. Now, this has worked for me for a lot of years, but one thing that is very difficult to do throughout a 12-month cycle is keep your body fat down. It's always a struggle, always a fight. And that's why in the beginning I was talking about body fat machines and why I was talking about scales. Now, you really have to get good at finding your norms whenever you're measuring things. If you're not trending down, then you're not going to get any results moving down. So let's say our goal, we just talked about strength. Let's say our goal now is body fat. Body fat is always an issue when it comes up to holiday season. You stack on some pounds. You come back in the spring and the summer, you're trying to get a little bit leaner. It's just the way it goes for general staying in shape as a man, moving down, trying to get in shape. You should be getting on the scale often. I use the Apple Health app all the time. It's an easy way to get averages for your workouts and your weight. So when you get on the scale, type in that weight, never not type it in. And what I mean by that is, say you ate too much on a Sunday and you've got an opportunity to write something down 6 pounds heavier. You don't want to do it because you don't want it to mess up your averages. That's going to kill you in the long run because it gives you a false sense of positivity. You don't want that. I want the real thing. I want to know if I'm losing fat or if I'm not. So when you jump on the scale on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday morning and your scale's riding heavy, you got to write it down, record it in the app, so then you can utilize averages. The averages are very important so you can measure your success properly and or know whether or not you are doing anything to make yourself successful. If you don't know that you're not getting results and you're not measuring, then I guarantee you're not getting results, because it's very easy not to get results in this world with all the types of foods we have to eat. So if body fat is your goal, you're going to write down your body fat percentage and your weight percentage every chance you get so that you can utilize the averages. I think what you'll find is your 7-day average is a better indication than your day-to-day average by far. So for instance, if I'm weighing in on a Sunday, Monday morning, I'm weighing heavy, had too much to eat on a Sunday, might be weighing 220 pounds. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday go by. Now I'm rocking 216, 217. So that's kind of the bottom end of my scale. So what is my goal in the upcoming days? It's to match or beat that number as often as I can. The more that I'm beating that number, guess what? I'm typing it in the app. All of a sudden, my weight is dropping down. At any point in time that you overeat, you drink too much, maybe you're drinking booze, you get dehydrated, then you get overhydrated. All those things are factors. So when you eat too much, that scale is going to bounce right back up. The way that you know how much fat you've actually lost is by playing the averages. So say on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm rocking 217s, 216s, but then Saturday, Sunday comes back around and I'm still hitting 222. Unfortunately, that means I'm losing about 0 body fat. If I continue to do that, the minute I quit dieting, the minute I quit restricting my calories, I would have not lost anything at all. You're going to find that your weight planes back out with 5 or 6 pounds added to your total, and I'll be right back around 220. So by measuring this in the long run, you're going to get way better results because you're not going to let yourself slide off. Oh, I'm doing so good. It says 216. Oh, I'm losing so much weight. My body fat's down. Sure, I can have that. Sure, I can have that. All of a sudden, the calories aren't restricted. You're right back where you started. But that window, you string together 7, 10, 14 days at the bottom of the scale, you're going to continually see that thing move down, and move down again. And that's when you're really losing body fat. So again, measure, measure, measure. This can even go as deep as measuring your food intake. If you find yourself never losing weight, never losing body fat, you're probably eating too much food. I strongly suggest utilizing MyFitnessPal at least once in your life. Put every single food item you eat in there so that you understand what you're eating. You could do this for maybe a month, 6 weeks, and generally speaking, most people eat the same food. So it's not really essential that you do this as a lifelong recording method. But I will tell you, if any time you're trying to lose body fat, it's a great way to reboot the system. It's kind of like you turn it on, you get really motivated, you start tracking everything you're doing for about 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You remember all the calories, you remember all the protein counts, you remember all these things, and you're very motivated and you get your portions back under control. But if you've never used any type of an app like this, I would strongly recommend that if you're trying to manage your body weight and stay in shape, if you become obese, you will not be in shape or be able to do many things that you've ever done when you were younger. It's a fact. It's going to happen. So you got to manage your body fat percentage, okay? But if you start using these types of apps, the most beneficial thing that it'll teach you is you'll learn every single caloric intake that you consume, and you'll know them like the back of your mind, or like the back of your hand, and you'll be able to continually change or tweak the foods that you're eating to get the results that you want. So make sure that you measure your food, make sure you're measuring the scale, body fat percentage, make sure you're measuring your strength. Well, let's wrap this video up. I think it's very important that if you're wanting to achieve great things, if you're wanting to stay in shape and do things that you've always been able to do late into life, it's important that you stay strong, maintain your balance and flexibility, as well as keep your body fat percentage in an optimal level to achieve the types of things that you want to do. If you still want to water ski, if you're trying to play slow pitch softball, if you're doing anything active, or heck, even chasing your kid around, you can get winded. It's easy if you get a plan. It's easy if you continually work towards staying in shape, then all of these things become easy. Thanks a lot for watching today. If you have any questions for me, leave me a comment, or you can head to kbandstraining.com. I've got tons of training videos that can kind of help you get your goals, or if you want to watch more videos like this, we'll have more coming to you soon. Thanks for watching.